So let's see today's matarachi usal. So here I've heated about a tablespoon of oil in a pan. Once the oil is hot, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds or mohori or rye. Once the mohori begins to splutter, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of jeera seeds or cumin seeds, half a teaspoon of hinga or asafoetida, and half a teaspoon of haldi powder or turmeric powder. Next, I'm going to add one light green chili that I've just chopped up fine. Next goes in about 2 cloves of garlic that I've chopped fine. 1 medium-sized onion chopped fine. Now we're going to mix all of this very well so that the onions get nicely fried. This is a really super simple and really quick dish. And now here I have about a cup of green peas, fresh green peas, and just add that and just mix everything nicely together. So this usal can be had with chapati, puri, and now we're just going to cover and cook this for about 5 minutes, stirring in between. So this way the peas will get cooked. And now we're just going to add a little bit of flavor. So we're going to add 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, 1 teaspoon of kitchen king masala, which is easily available in stores, and it really adds lovely flavor to all usals and vegetables, a little bit of it. Now I'm just going to add about 1/4 cup of water. Mix everything together. And the green peas cook really fast. Now I'm going to add some salt to taste, a pinch of sugar. Again, mix everything well. Just cover and cook this for about 5 minutes on a low to medium flame, and that's it, friends. Your usal is all ready. A very super simple and delicious recipe. Dum aloo recipe. So now here I've taken 20 baby potatoes and I've washed them really well. And now I'm going to use a peeler and peel the potatoes really well. Now if you don't get your hands on baby potatoes, you can always use small potatoes or medium-sized potatoes. But this dish really comes out, perfect if you use these little baby potatoes. So now after peeling the potatoes, I'm just going to use a sharp knife. You can also use a fork and just make little incisions like this. So what this does is when we make the gravy will nicely, go into the potatoes and flavor the potatoes really well. So this is an important step. Now once that is done, I'm going to heat about 5 tablespoons of oil. And we're going to fry these potatoes till they're very nicely done, that is dark brown, golden brown in color. So keep an eye on them and just keep turning them in between till they get nicely fried. So I put a timer and this took me exactly 7 minutes to get them to this point. After that, just take them out in a separate bowl. Now I'm going to take out most of the oil from the pan, and I'm just going to use a tablespoon of the oil. And now here I have 1 large onion chopped, about 10 cashew nuts, 1 inch of ginger, 6 cloves of garlic, and about 4 dried red chilies. So I'm going to add all of this to this oil. And we're going to fry this really well till the onions become nice and translucent. So again, this took me about 2 minutes for it to really fry nicely. So do that for about 2 minutes. And after that, once the onions soften, we're going to add 2 medium-sized tomatoes that we've chopped fine. And I'm going to fry this till the tomatoes also become nice and soft. So that took me another 2 minutes. Now we're going to turn off the heat and we're going to let this mixture completely cool down to room temperature. And then we're going to grind this without adding any water to a very fine paste like this. Now I'm going to add a little bit, about a tablespoon of the same oil that we used in the beginning for frying the potatoes. So a tablespoon or so. And now I'm going to add Now here we have 2 bay leaves, 1 big elaichi, 2 small elaichis, 1 inch of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of cumin or jeera, and about 10 peppercorns. So we're going to add all of these whole masalas or whole spices to the 1 tablespoon of oil. And we're going to fry this till it nicely flavors up the oil. So keep it on a very low flame. And just for about half a minute, we're going to fry them so that they nicely flavor the oil. And once that is done, we're going to add our paste that we ground to the whole spices that we fried. And we're going to mix this in really, really well. So we're going to fry this masala or this paste for about half a minute with the whole spices. Now I'm going to add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder, 1 teaspoon of red chili powder. Mix it in well. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of coriander powder or dhania powder, half a teaspoon of cumin powder or jeera powder, 2 teaspoons of Kashmiri red chili powder for the color, and 1 teaspoon of dry mango powder or amchur powder. So mix all of this really well together. Keep your flame on very low because we're adding powder spices. So mix all of this really nicely together. The flavor, the aroma in my kitchen is just amazing with all these beautiful Indian spices. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cover this and keep it aside for about 5 minutes on a very low flame till all of the masala gets nicely fried. And now I'm going to add 1 green chili that I've chopped fine. So keep stirring in between when you cover and keep it for 5 minutes. And now you can see that there's some oil oozing out of this masala. Now I'm going to add 1.5 cup of water. Now what I did is the mixer jar in which I ground the masala, I added 1.5 cup water to that, rinsed out all the masala, and I'm going to use that water itself. So now mix it in really well. If you want it a little thinner, then you can add a little more water, say about a 1/4 cup of water more, and mix all of this really nicely together. And now I'm going to add some salt to taste. And now we're going to add our fried potatoes back into the curry or the gravy. Mix everything in well. And now you're going to cover and keep this for 15 minutes on a very low flame, stirring in between. And after 15 minutes, you'll see that it has nicely thickened and the masalas have all come together very well. The potatoes are nicely coated with the masala. So now I'm just going to add half a teaspoon of homemade garam masala. I leave a link to the recipe of how I make my garam masala at home. Mix all of this well together. You see how the curry has nicely thickened up. I just can't wait to dig into this. And then I'm going to turn off the flame and I'm just going to add some lovely fresh coriander leaves that I've chopped as a garnish. And we're going to mix in the coriander leaves too. And that's it, guys. Your lovely dum aloo recipe is all ready to enjoy. Now, I love having this with some naan. And of course, I'm going to add just half a teaspoon of clarified butter and ghee at the end. And then we're just going to cover and keep it aside for about a minute or two. And that really flavors and elevates the flavor of this beautiful dish. So have this with naan or roti or puris or chapatis. It's just fabulous. So I thought I'd just shoot the recipe and share it with all of you. So basically she took about 100 grams or 2 karelas, washed it really well, cut it into rounds and then into halves, and then she applied some salt to it, about a tablespoon or so, and then kept it in a bowl, in a sieve rather, with a heavy weight on it. So what happens is most of the bitterness goes away, and then after 20 minutes she washed it really well and patted it dry. So this is how it looks when it's ready to be cooked. So now in a pan or a pot, she's taken 1.5 tablespoon of oil. Now you require a little oil, more oil for this, and added about half a teaspoon of mustard seeds or mohri or rye. Now the oil is a lot because you want to, make this nice and crispy. Next goes in half a teaspoon of cumin and half a teaspoon of turmeric or haldi powder. So I thought I'd just share this recipe for those of you who like karela or bitter gourd. Next goes in half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hinga. And now we're going to add the karela or bitter gourd. So you can see how it has been cut. And after that, just mix everything really well. So all of this bagar or fodni needs to be really, well mixed in with the karela. And you also have to fry the karela really, really nice. It becomes nice and crispy. And now she's added 3 green chilies, which she has slit and then cut into half. And then mix it up really, really well. Now let me know how many of you like karela bhaji or bitter gourd, and if you all do, then leave your comments in the comment section below, and also how you all prepare it at home. So now fry the karela really, really well. This is very important to get a nice delicious karela bhaji. And then she's added about 1 teaspoon of red chili powder and 1 tablespoon of jaggery or gur. So you can add the jaggery as per your taste. This balances the bitterness. And then she added about 2 tablespoons of desiccated coconut, not fresh coconut, because then you get this lovely crispy karela bhaji. This with sprouted moong or with plain, just soaked moong. So watch the video till the end. I'll show you how to sprout the moong. So once the moong is sprouted, just put it into a pressure pan in a vessel like this. Don't add water to the vessel, only to the pan, and cook it for 2 whistles on high, and then switch the cooker off. Once the cooker has cooled down to room temperature, your moong will look like this. So don't add any water into the moong. Now this is a paste which I have prepared, and this is 1 boiled and cubed and peeled and cubed potato. So now for that paste, I took about 6 green chilies. I'm using the light green chilies which are less spicy. 1 inch of ginger. This is about half a cup of grated fresh coconut and 1 cup of coriander and some salt to taste. So I just added all of that to the mixer and made it into a nice paste like this. So it shouldn't be very smooth or very coarse, just of this consistency, so that everything is mixed well together. So now in my pan, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of oil. Once the oil is nice and heated, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, that is mohri or rye. Once the mustard seeds begin to splutter, I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of haldi powder or turmeric powder, followed by half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hinga. Now we're going to add the ground paste to this bagar or to this fodni. And we're going to fry the paste for a whole minute till the paste starts oozing out a little bit of oil. So just fry it on a low to medium flame, stirring it. Now this usal is really delicious, and you can have this with puri or with rice, chapatis, even with pav. It tastes amazing. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of coriander powder or dhania powder and half a teaspoon of cumin powder, jeera powder. So these are all homemade powders. If you want to see how I do that, make the powders at home, I'll leave a link to my recipe of how to make ground powders at home itself, so that there are no preservatives or anything in it. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of goda masala. Again, this is a homemade masala. I'll leave the link to that. And I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of garam masala. So even this recipe you'll find in the description box as well as the comment section. So now once all the masalas are really fried nicely, we're going to add the moong that we cooked. Remember, we didn't add any water to the moong. We just added the water to the pressure cooker and cook the moong for exactly 2 whistles. So like I said, you can either sprout the moong or you can leave them, just soak the moong for about 2 to 3 hours and then use it. Now if you want to see how I sprouted the moong, please watch the video till the end. It's a very simple process. So now I'm going to add 1 cup of hot water and mix everything really well together. Now if you want to have more of a dry dish, then only add this 1/2 cup of water, but if you want a little more gravy, then you can add another 1/2 cup of hot water. So I'm keeping it semi dry, in the sense not too much of a gravy. Now you can also taste it and just see if you need to add a little more salt, because we added salt only to the ground paste, so you can add salt if you like. Now mix everything really well together. So now I'm going to add just about 1 teaspoon of jaggery or gourd. Now if you don't use jaggery in your cooking, you can also add sugar. Just a little bit, maybe just a pinch of sugar. And now we're going to add this boiled, peeled and cubed potatoes. So what I do is I take the potatoes, wash them well and put them in my pressure pan for 1 whistle on high with some water in it, and then I simmer it for about 5 minutes, put the pressure pan off, and once it cools down, I remove the potatoes, let them cool down a little and then peel them and cube them. And now we're just going to cover and cook this on a low flame for 3 minutes. And you can see that our usal is all ready. You can also squeeze some lime juice on top of this, and it goes very well with pav, bread slices, puri or rice. So do try out this recipe, guys, and let me know how you like it. And for those of you who want to know how I sprout the moong, you can watch the remaining part of this video. So what I do is I take about 1 wati of moong. I wash it very well under water, and then I soak it in about 3 cups of water overnight or for 8 hours. Then I remove all the water and keep it aside again for another 8 hours, and then you'll see that it sprouts. So if you want more sprouts, you want to sprout more, just keep it for another half a day, and
hope you liked today's recipe as well as today's video, and if you would like to see more videos like this, then don't forget to leave this video a big thumbs up. Also, by clicking the thumbs up icon. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and become a part of Akshata's recipes. Once you have subscribed, there is a small little bell icon that will pop up, so just click on that. That way, whenever I put up a new recipe or a new video, you get a message for the same. So on that note, I'll say bye and I'll catch you in my next video sooner than you think. This is Akshata saying bye, take care, stay healthy, stay fit, be kind and loving to one another. So till we meet again, bye.